JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. IOTBA, Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.
It's your boy, Mr. IOTBA, Mr. 214, Senor Dos, Senor Dos, Mr. Undeniable, Mr. D Boy Can't Touch Me.
Tell him.
On my worst day.
Talk
You know what I'm saying? Right here with my dog. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast, episode 81. I'm right here with my dog, my partner in crime, my brother from another, Mr. JJ Solomon. What's poppin', my guy?
Happy New Year, bro.
Happy
2025. Happy to be here, dog. We got a great guest. Hey, don't forget, Corey, today's our 3-year anniversary, big dog. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday, Spit Bucket. And we got a great guest to go along with it. Hey, man, before we move forward, though, because I want to respect our guest time, I just want to remind the audience tonight, as we mentioned over the weekend, we lost somebody near and dear to our heart, Joel Jusino, through Boxing and Barbecue. This guy's loved everywhere he goes. But anyhow, man, we're coming together as a boxing community in the month of January for Spit Bucket Podcast. 100% of our super chats and super stickers will go to Joel's family. And just supporting the Boxing and Barbecue family. So just want to remind everybody, everything you guys throw in tonight, going straight to Joel's family.
And we appreciate the support. If everybody could show up and show out for us, he was a big part of the boxing media. But guess what, though?
Go ahead. Tell them what we got,
Solomon.
Corey. Tell them what we got.
Say, we got one of Brooklyn's finest in the building. You understand me? She got a fight coming up on February the 2nd, you understand me, all right, in the heavyweight division, JJ Solomon. I mean, she 5-0, right? Like I say, she from Brooklyn, New York, but she reigns in Houston, Texas, and on February the 2nd, she looked to show the whole world how Brooklyn do. We got Danielle Perkins. She in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, champ? Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Perkins. What's popping?
I don't know what's good. Good to be on. Appreciate y'all.
Man, like we excited right now, right? We super excited because me scrolling up my articles, right, over the years, watching you perform, right. I'm telling everybody from the 214, wherever you at in the States, to across the pond, on February the 2nd, we got a real fight between Danielle Perkins and Claressa Shields, and we're excited about it. Tell us how you feel about this big, momentous moment coming up, Danielle.
Well, I've been looking forward to it. I'm actually glad that there's now an opportunity for there to be eyes on the heavyweight division. For a long time, it was just overlooked. And I appreciate Claressa even taking this fight. She didn't have to.
And salute. I mean, you're right. And look, Claressa pretty much, she's like the women's Canelo. She can go up, she can go down, she can pick and go where she wants. So yeah, it's real cool that she's doing this and putting that spotlight on the heavyweight division. Now, I've seen you on your social media saying things like, I am the division, I am the division, I am the division. What do you mean by that? I know you want to highlight that heavyweight division. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Well, I mean, I am. Like, this division is mine. I mean, and I've been very clear about that from the very beginning. I'm not anything other than a heavyweight. Now, I mean, I can go to 75, but even then, that's still technically by the WBC a heavyweight. So this is my division, and I have to gatekeep it, and I will.
Now, what's key to me is, I heard you say something. You got me excited. Like, when I look at this fight right here, I know this is a true, real fight right here because I see your skill set on the inside of that square circle. And one thing you said, that you have the advantage over Claressa Shields. You said stature, power, and strength. Can you talk about that?
Well, I feel like no matter who I fought in terms of how big they've been or how heavy they've been, my size and my strength and my power has always separated me from any opposition. So I feel like it really does have a staple. So if I fight a girl 6'4", 220, me standing at 196 feet, still she feels the power, the strength, and my size. So I imagine at 180 and you not being my size is going to be it's a totally different feel from what was in there before.
Facts. Now look, you a lot of people see this fight, right? And to your point earlier, there hasn't been a whole lot of spotlight on the heavyweight division in women's boxing specifically. A lot of people see this fight and they see it as just a pushover fight. A lot of the boxing casuals, but you take it back to your amateur days. You ended a drought for the United States in terms of world championships, a 3-year drought back in 2019. You're undefeated. There's a lot of people criticizing Claressa because you are late in the game. You're, and your age being at 42 years old. How does your body feel? How do you feel mentally? All that part of it. How are you feeling? And what do you have to say to the critics?
Well, the thing about a boxing casual or just a spectator, they only know what they know, right? So they look at how many fights I have or how old I am, but the respect between me and Claressa should be enough to know that she does take this fight seriously and this is not a pushover. So she disrespects everybody else, clearly. She has no respect for anybody else, and there's a reason why she thinks and she's shown in the ring why she doesn't have much respect for other people. I feel like this fight is going to put the heavyweight division on the map, and more people are going to pay attention to it.
And I agree 100% with that. That's a great point you just said. She talk a lot to all her other opponents. We ain't heard Claressa say nothing. Hold up, not a Titi. Hold up, Nathaniel about Danielle Perkins coming up in this fight. And with you saying that, right? Shields said this is the most important fight of her life. So that adds a lot of merit to that. I understand this is the most important fight of your life, Danielle, because you're finally made it, got your moment coming up on February the 2nd, where you're able to really spotlight yourself and show your skills and show everybody you is who you said you was. But with Claressa Shields, the most talkative, who gonna talk the most trash to anybody. This is the same woman who said she could knock out a man or beat a man. She said this is the most important fight of her life. How do you feel about her saying that?
Well, I honestly feel like it's a dangerous fight, you know.
Next.
So like she said, she's up for any challenge, and like I said, I do appreciate her taking this fight because very easily she could have just vacated and it would have been the end of that. She made the history and moved on, and this would have never really been an opportunity. And I feel like it's great because finding an opponent is difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
Finding somebody willing to step in the ring with me is absolutely difficult. It's insane. And you know how people go down to Mexico to get fights,
Yeah.
right? So we went down to Mexico. I took my shirt off, and the girl was like, "Fuck that, nope." I'm
Oh
out.
man.
I was
No.
like, I can't even get a fight in Mexico. This is insane. So, um, yeah, no, it's an
Yeah.
important fight for both of us.
No,
Yeah,
yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the respect thing. Oftentimes when Claressa Shields gets brought up in conversations, um, it's it's in a negative sense, especially again, I'm bringing up casual conversation. And she gets a lot of flack for being disrespectful, and we just talked about it. You have the Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylors of the world, and you have the Claressa Shields. I saw a post of yours after your fight, and it was very respectful to your opponent. And my question to you is, for the boxing audience that still hadn't really got to know you, what can they expect? Can they expect more of the Serrano side, the Shields side, or is Danielle Perkins kind of her own person? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, the person outside the ring is very respectful, very respectful, and I realize how dangerous this sport is, and I think, watching a fight, a lot of people call for knockouts, and they want, they want you to to end the fight, and outside of the ring, I think, I'm very cautious about my words. I'm also very cautious about how, I approach someone just out of respect, because I think the sport and women's side deserves a little bit more respect. I feel like people really want like a cat fight, which I think is kind of insane. Whereas two men can shake hands and then they brutally beat the shit out of each other and then they shake hands at the end. Everyone's cool with that. I don't know why we can't bring that to women's boxing. But in the ring, I feel like there's a psychopath that comes in there and wants to brutally get out of somebody. And I don't think about anything other than that. But after the fight, I always reflect on, being thankful for the person and also that they're not dead.
Facts.
And,
100%.
Hospital, because no one really wants that on their hands. Even though if you do get a knockout, you think in your back of your head, I hope they're okay. I don't want any permanent damage. You think about people who've ended up in wheelchairs or just like brain damage. You don't think about that during the fight. During the fight, you show up and like if the opportunity presents itself, you take it. So I in my mind, I'm like, I have a lot of respect for Claressa, and I don't. The person outside the ring does not want to hurt her, right? But the person who shows up the night of the fight, I really can't speak for her.
I like
Love it,
that.
love it. And you're right. I heard you say that because someone asked you a question saying, when do the respect go? You said the respect don't never go, right? It's like the respect gonna always be there. When we get in that square circle, we gonna get out. But see, what people don't know about you, Danielle Perkins, see, you're cool, calm, and collective, very well spoken. But if you watch this lady fight in the ring, JJ, do you think Claressa be doing talking in the ring? She be doing a lot of talking in the ring to her opponents and antagonizing them. Like I'm telling y'all seeing this well-spoken woman right here. But I really believe when everybody see what I done seen her doing that ring. And I'm telling y'all, she bringing a lot of skill to this table that y'all don't know about. This not one of them other fights. And I respect Claressa the fight she been in, but it's not one of them other fights. She do a lot of talking in that ring. So how are you so well spoken? Like you say, you turn to a psychopath for now because it's like I'm seeing a different person right now than the person I see in the ring who be barking at the girls when she fighting them.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think. I guess it's a different way of thinking. You know what I mean? So it's like one of my teammates called me an apex predator.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you hit a body shot and you hear the cadence of the breathing change. I notice like if the two lands and like you end up rolling back on your heels. All right, well now we're good to go. I know that the impact is not there, and you're not gonna cross that line without knowing you got to pay the toll at the bridge. So I'm gonna play with you a little bit. I'm gonna have some, and then someone asked me one time, like, what do you say? Some things I remember, but some things is just like in the moment, like in a street fight, like, come on, bring your punk ass over here. Like but
it is a little I don't know what's the word, conflict in talking, because you are very cool, calm, and collected. I feel like I'm talking to a professor right now. And then, like Corey said, you see that snap and you'll see little sprinkles of it even here on the conversation. But look, I want to talk about something too that just kind of, studying up and over the years and seeing your career blossom, kind of take it back a little bit, and your basketball career and how Danielle, we didn't really get a chance to pre-talk and visit what was okay with talking, but are you okay with kind of discussing the accident, the bounce back, and kind of what you took out of that for the folks who don't know? If you kind of just kind of run down and catch up the audience to a little bit about your history.
Yeah, sure. So I had a so I used to play professional basketball. Prior to that, I played at St. John's University. Then I went overseas to a couple of teams. And in a transition of going from one team to another, I had to come home. And in that transition, you have to like stay in shape. So like every basketball player is used to 2 a-days. You know, you'll have like your morning workout, then you come out and you either play basketball at night, like pickup, or you're just like shooting drills and stuff. So, me and my mom went to the gym, for my second workout. I took her because she had got off work, whatever. Um, and it was late, so I wanted to get some papaya. So I parked the car. And she wanted to go in the store, and I'm glad I went because I don't think my mom would have survived this accident. I walked across the street, and I actually never made it across the street. I got hit by a taxi. Um, initially, it was just like, my back of my skull had opened up, and there was some damage with my shoulder and my hip. But I was out for a while. And eventually like resuscitated by the firefighters. I'm glad, like, because they could have given up because it was taking a while. But yeah, but that put me out for like a while, and I couldn't walk, and then it was like all this like PTSD from like not seeing the car and not hearing the car. Like all of that was very devastating, and it like took my number one passion away. It took basketball away from me, and it was like a tough time anyway because my dad had just passed away, and it was like a lot going on. So, and then that ended my career. I could never like come back. So like that was terrible.
Wow, and what I would appreciate you. And like I said, we didn't really visit much about what we're going to talk about and what wasn't. So I appreciate you opening up and talking about that because Rita, it's obviously a difficult time. Corey and I, and we often talk about, especially as we get a little bit older, that things happen for a reason, And now look, Danielle Perkins, you're sitting here a month away from a shot at the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the world. So I can see how difficult that is for you to bring up in discussion. But I hope you realize that your story is not even close to being finished. It's not even being close to being finished because you're such an inspiration just with what you've already done. So salute. And like I said, we appreciate you even opening up like that.
No, I mean, I don't like to talk about it for a while. I used to have like, I would start to think about it, and like, I have a lot of hair now. Like before I used to have like braids, but I have like this wicked scar on my head from like the skull. And it used to like hurt. And now I don't even think about it because I get punched in the head all the time. And I don't even like the mild impact of those hits. I don't know what's going to happen when I get older. I might be walking on eggshells, but right now, like, I don't think about it.
Salute.
Now,
Good.
now, even though I seen y'all little pre-press conference, right?
Uh-oh.
You know me, I look in between and I see everything. Right. I seen you over there, cool, calm, and collective. But I heard the shot. And listen, JJ, and I'm not mad at it. Right? you did you think Claressa Shields took it personal when you called her last opponent a fitness trainer?
Oh, weight loss client?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, correct. Good eye, dog. Good eye. You can't get none past this guy.
Well, I mean, that was just my assessment. And I mean, she's right. The girl was, a heavyweight champion of the world. But I mean, I think she defended it well because it's a fact. The girl was the heavyweight champion of the world, which is why also until Claressa stepped in, no one cared that who this girl was or what kind of champion she was until she got knocked out. What made her famous is that she got knocked out by Claressa, and no one calling her by her name. They're just saying that girl Claressa knocked out. That's it. So the girl didn't even put up a fight. I mean, the thing about it is like, how you go 2 rounds and you can't land a punch.
Yeah.
Think about if that was like Usyk and Fury. If like Usyk came out and couldn't land a punch on Fury and then he gets knocked out in the second round, what would be the news?
Mm-hmm.
All right, if we were to just change the optics of it. Like, what would be the amount of pressure that, Usyk would face if it was allowed that 6 minutes go by and this man doesn't land a punch?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Look, unfortunately, look, Correa and I are big supporters of women's boxing. We have been since we started this thing. And it's like that year after we started. It's kind of like that year that women's boxing started to blow up. And I'm not saying because of us. I'm saying we've been covering it. But we'd be blind to say that no, everything's peachy. That's just kind of the way the heavyweight landscape is. So, as much flack as Claressa's getting for fighting, going up to I guess, an unestablished division, she's giving y'all the opportunity for that. I respect it. We want to make sure there's not too much respect, though. Like you coming out, you seeing Claressa, because Claressa's a legend, man. Let's say what it is. She's got movies out. She's a superstar, and she's in the news now for good and bad reasons.
Right.
Like, is there any what the hell is the word I'm looking for? Are you starstruck at all? Is this just another opponent?
No, I'm not starstruck. No, I mean the I don't know how to say it, but it was just like, it's almost like opening up your wallet and you see like that winning lotto ticket. At no point are you like, "Whoa, do I deserve this? Hell no!" Like, I'm like, yeah, this is about time. Shit, I'm gonna take it. Absolutely true.
That's
No,
what's up.
and
Yeah, if you wasn't listen, we wouldn't have like no one would care if she wasn't up here. So like, I'm not starstruck. I'm excited. Let's go and get this. Like to
no, and I believe you.
is getting the championship, taking the belts from Claressa. Fantastic. Like, yeah, put me in, coach.
And man, it's a
And
beautiful thing about the heavyweight division. It can all change so fast. I want to keep talking boxing, but I want to bring this up, and I want to just kind of see you chat. I saw this pop up, and you saying you fall in love. Um, you told us you're a professional basketball player. You're obviously about to fight for undisputed heavyweight championship. How much thought have you got given into a career in the cage? Or what's that look like?
So, after I won the WBC Silver Heavyweight Championship, I started rolling with Saul, who was Gabby Garcia and Cyborg's coach, and I picked up on jiu-jitsu real quick. I was like, this is fun. I had so much fun, and me and Saul, we were gonna fight Gabby on a Rising card in Japan. And we were just waiting for COVID to like kind of pass, and then I was like, all right, while I'm waiting for boxing, I'll take some MMA fighting. And the first time I met Gabby, like Gabby's like 6'3", like 240 pounds, and I shook her hand and I was like, I want to fight you. She's like, what? I was like, I want to. She's like, are you serious? I was like, yes, I do. Like, you're huge, and I want to fight you. So Dana White came over to the gym and he was like walking around, and I fought on a UFC card like for my debut, and like for some reason he remembered, and so he came over and he was like, "Hey, I wanted to come by and say hi," and that's when I was starstruck. I was like, "Oh, what?" Like so I literally just put it out there. I was like, "Yo, put me and Gabby Garcia as like a special event on like a UFC card." He was like, "You want to fight Gabby?" I was like, "I'll fuck Gabby up." Like I put. He was like, "What?" I was like, "No, seriously." I mean, what it turned out is like we got, me and my mom got front row tickets to a UFC fight in the Toyota Center, and like she got to meet Dana White. Like that was the turnout, but he was like, "No, you're not putting you and Gabby on." So I was like, "Oh," so we had to go all the way to Japan. I'm still cool with that, but I just kept training. So me and Saul worked together, and he is a phenomenal coach. Unfortunately, like he passed away from COVID during COVID, but if he didn't, I probably would have had a couple of like crazy ass Japanese fights on my record.
How would you compare the two, boxing and jiu-jitsu, just from top to bottom, preparation, everything about it?
Well, the thing about jujitsu that I like is you get to ease into like um the learning curve. And boxing, like if you come into a gym and you look a little threat and they throw somebody in there, you're gonna get beat up. And you gotta learn how to protect yourself. Jiu-jitsu is kind of nice. They're like, "Oh, let me show you a couple of cool submissions." And I was like, listen, once I learned the Americana, I was trying to break everybody's arm. Let
That's
me get
hilarious.
or rip your arm out the socket. Like the switch turns on. So it was like, oh, okay. Then I learned some ankle locks and I learned some sweeps and I learned some throws. And I was like, I'm in there with the brown belts and we're having a great time. I was like, I could roll with anyone. I was having a lot of fun. Sometimes there's a guy who comes in sometimes from he's in the military and we'll be in the gym and we'll roll a little bit. But my coach is like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
Yeah, I was about to say that. You got a big fight coming up, right?
yeah, I was like, I go play basketball for some good. He's like, no, you're not. And I was like,
So, getting back to boxing, right? Claressa Shields said something on y'all little thing y'all did on Salida Promotions. I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago. I was watching it live while I was in the fair. I couldn't wait to see it. Right? And she said, like, so Hannah Gabriel didn't want to fight this girl. Like, I want to wonder to myself why she didn't want to fight this girl. So that's making me wonder and making me understand what's in front of me, right? So with you hearing that, her say that, do you feel Claressa Shields feel the pressure that's coming on February the 2nd?
I don't think so. Not yet.
Y'all ain't
Not yet.
sparred together? No work together?
No.
But she said, I ain't never heard Claressa talk like that, right? I'm being honest with you. I done seen
Well,
Claressa, huh?
with like I mean, like a lot of people, I think a lot of women, I think it's women's sports is different. Women's basketball, I mean, women's boxing is very different because a lot of people will take fights in fear. Like they know like this is the next step they have to take in their career, but they're scared,
Mhm.
right?
That
And
makes sense.
you'll hear them talk and their voices trembling. You'll see in their neck, the veins are like pumping, like you're scared. You're afraid. And they're like, you have to do this or you gotta quit. And you're not built to quit, so you have to do this. So me, I'm too ignorant for that. So I'm just like, yay, a fight. Who's next? Like
Yeah.
I'm having a great time. So they like things that are presented like Hannah Gabriel was like Hannah Gabriel, man, I'll be Hannah ass. Like sign her up. It's up. It's all right.
Say
So
that part louder. Say that part louder. We want to clip it and just have something go viral.
yeah,
No,
Hannah knows I told her I'll beat her ass with one hand. Hannah knows. I do not like the way she stole me out for the last 3 years. I'll fight Hannah for a coconut. She ain't even gotta pay me.
and let me follow up, right? Because see, I know that you really is real with yourself and you believe in yourself. You know, like the majority of the world, you know, it's obvious they gonna think Claressa gonna win because it's just this other fighter who's coming to the ring. But what stood out to me, what you said, she lose, it's nothing. They gonna say I was too big. You say this is the only option I have. So what that told me is like this is gonna be another Danielle Perkins we see in that ring. Can you break down what you mean by this is the only option I have?
Well, it is like I'm a heavyweight, and the heavyweight division is mine. So I never, I can't be a one. Like she gets the option. Uh, she can make 154. She can make 160. She can make 168. I mean, push come to shove with a good nutritionist, she can get into the 40s if she needed to with her frame and her size. I can't do that.
It wouldn't be healthy, hell.
Not healthy. I'm not making it. Like I have to go to the hospital. Like it's not going. That's it. This is the division I signed up for. Period. And in the amateurs, it was an actual real division, especially at Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
But they're hard to find 6-foot women. They're not everywhere. Also, 6-foot women who want to fight and get punched in the face. Not a lot of them. Most of them are like gentle giants, but a lot of
No doubt. No
yeah.
doubt. Does Claressa's antics give you any added motivation? Like, do you just jump on her Twitter, IG, and does that like piss you off at all? Just kind of seeing how she disrespects some of the other fighters, does that motivate you at all?
I just find it funny. I find it funny. I think it's funny. I think she's entertaining. I think she's entertaining, and also Alicia. Alicia's entertaining. Alicia's my favorite line. During like the Alicia Michaela fight was when she called her horse face Karen. We talk about that all the time. That's one of my favorite
Who
lines.
said that?
Horse face Karen. Alicia called Michaela.
Michaela
Oh,
Mayer, that.
yeah, that was hilarious. I mean, we laughed. We actually laughed about that today. I said that's one of the best lines in boxing. No one ever talks about it. Like
I'm
you
gonna
would.
have to pull that up. We don't need to put any more fuel into their fire,
Can
man.
I
There's
ask
so
you
many.
something? Is it a
Go ahead.
rematch clause?
Oh, for me, no options.
No options? Do she got a rematch clause? No? Interesting.
Are you
Do you
ready?
think that is disrespect?
Yeah, that's what.
No, most people. I don't think she. I don't think she has rematch clauses in her contracts.
No, but you said the heavyweight division is yours, right?
Yeah.
And with you saying that, you saying a president to everyone from the whatever state they into across the pond, and she didn't give you a rematch clause. Like she didn't give herself a rematch clause if she could lose. So I know every fighter supposed to have that mentality that they're gonna come in the ring and win this fight. But she coming to your division. You said this is my division. No rematch clause, no disrespect. You don't feel a certain type of way?
I wouldn't want to do this twice.
Mm.
That's a straight up answer. That's a
Like,
good answer. That's a good answer. I'm gonna hit. I wanted to talk to you a little bit, because we the Claressa things in a month and all that, and it looks like you just at peace, at ease, no nerves. But I do want to talk a little bit about your preparation, your team, and your camp. We tight with Darius Fulgham. We've had him on the show. We've been to cover several of his fights. Been out of his fight, a lot of his fights. Looks like y'all pretty tight knit team down in Houston. How's that working with Darius and the team down there?
oh, Darius is in my corner. He was in my corner my last fight. He'll be in the corner for this fight.
What's up?
Yeah, but camp's going well. Sparrings, I was actually going really well. I'm fighting a version of Claressa. That's very, very good. So, we're definitely gonna be more than prepared.
Go
Do
ahead.
you think? Oh, go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna hit some of these comments, bro. Go ahead.
Do you think if you win this fight, because only we don't know what's gonna happen to February the 2nd. I know you would say when you win this fight. Do you think other fighters like the Diva will try to come up to heavyweight to try to challenge you for this belt?
No. I've actually shared the ring with Franchon.
Mm. Oh, you don't think she'll want to get in there? No?
Let's straight to the point, my guy. Let's hit these comments real quick. PYP Boxing. My bad, I'm doing this. We got a new setup in here, and I'm still working out the ins and outs. Danielle Perkins, PYP started with you. We thank you so much for that first one. Antoine Richardson says, "Strong ass lady." That was a response from your insane survival story, and salute for that. We didn't. I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough. That's an insane story that happened, and you're sitting here fighting for all the belts in a month. A question: do you feel you have the experience to handle Shield's speed and footwork? Shield has great movement. Will you be able to adapt to the movement? That question was from Rafi 32.
Well, the thing about Shields and her movement is that 160. So she's not fighting at 160. I have the most experience as a heavyweight boxer. She doesn't have as much experience as I do as a heavyweight.
Good answer. Good answer.
But to concur, on that same Salida promotion, first time y'all talking, you did say middleweight power can give heavyweights problems because it's a different speed.
No, I said hand speed, not
Hand
power.
speed, okay.
Yeah, hand speed can't give heavyweights a problem, but that depends on how stationary the fighter is. I don't really stay still, but it is something you got to be aware of. Like, I'm definitely aware that she does have a lot of hand speed and she lets off a lot of flurries, but it's also a matter of allowing someone to put you in that position. If you stand there, she's gonna get off. Like, that's what she's known for. But if you don't
Be
stand,
honest. Do you believe her when she say she gonna meet you in the middle? Do you believe that?
well, it benefits her if I stand in the middle. Yeah, if I stand right in the middle, that's a benefit for her.
You think that's a benefit for her if you stand right in the middle?
I mean,
You don't think with her being a smaller fighter and you being a bigger heavyweight, tall heavyweight, you gonna have like every physical advantage except for speed? You think
I don't really,
like with her saying
I'm not taking nothing for granted, so I'm not giving up nothing. Like, I'm not giving up nothing.
That's what's up. Hey, 2 minute rounds. You gotta just go balls to the wall. I mean, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I'm not giving nothing. If I feel like it's even slightly an advantage, no.
Let's see.
Like,
We got some. Antoine Richardson says, "So you're saying you're gonna serve her?" Yes, because he's asking for financial advice. I'll bet on you if so. Let's hear it. Will Claressa Shields get served?
well, you mean like by the course of the boxing course?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I told you. I mean, I told her I will be the heavyweight champion, and these are all the belts. This happens on February 2nd.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So with
Correct.
that being said, right, I got to ask this question because Clarissa said something that kind of threw me back, right? Because I don't think that, throughout the history, we've seen all the great fighters, right? Everybody not going to win every fight. She said she has to be undefeated to be the Gwoat, like the greatest woman of all time. Like, I don't think so. What's your thoughts on that?
She will. She will be an undefeated middleweight. She will
Hmm.
not lose any middleweight fights. I can almost guarantee that.
So when you see all the back and forth between her and like all the debates now that are going on, which I think, for the record, I think the fact that people are debating now about who the GWO is in women's boxing is a good thing for women's boxing. It may not feel like it in those moments where people are disrespecting and all that sort of, but the fact that we've got conversations going, I think that the trajectory is headed in the right way. But if you had to label who's the GWO right now based on accolades, and you see the ladies that the candidates, I guess, who would you slap that label on?
Well, I mean, the GOAT is different from the GWOAT. Like, Claressa has marketed and made the Gwoat a thing, like that GWOAT, like that's like her trademark. So, and she put money into it, and she's also invested into it. So, like, y'all can't, like, no one can really take that from her. Like,
I
that's
feel
her,
that.
you know. So, like, that belongs to her. No one was calling anyone else the Gwoat until like she started,
Sure.
creating that hashtag. So, if you want to go the GOAT of women's boxing, um, and the accolades, it would have to be Amanda Serrano. And I only say that because, like, me and Amanda at one point had trained together. I know Jordan, and I know, like, she lives, like, they used to live, like, not too far from us in Bushwick. So I remember what Amanda, where she came from and how far she's come and the work that she's put in, a lot of sacrifice. Nothing was handed to her. And she just kept going with the promise of, like, nothing. Like, she was taking, I mean, a lot of risk in her career, and even to this day, she still takes a lot of risk. Like, Katie Taylor beat her and her sister, and every single time she steps back up to, like, no, next time I'm gonna beat you. Like, that is insanity and a chase for greatness that she's willing herself in it. Like, so, like, Clarissa's never lost. So, like, that feeling of the grab back and digging your way out of that hole, she doesn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Amanda's tasted losses and fought back and still respected in the sport and even making more money. So I'm gonna say Amanda Serrano.
Now you know tomorrow when this come out, Claressa gonna be like, "Oh, she got the right. Amanda Serrano, the greatest of all, woman of all time."
Well, I mean, yeah, she's the GOAT, but the GOAT is because think
And,
about like Amanda's breaking, like, she's like in the Guinness World Records.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, she's like at any time, anywhere in the world, she's like the queen of Puerto Rico.
Yeah. You can't deny it.
and she
You can't
loved
deny
by
it.
fans too. Um, I'm glad you said that because Amanda Serrano is loved by fans. Now, listen, I know it's all about the fight. I know you focused in on the fight. But Clarissa got a lot of drama going on right now. I'm talking about a
Correct.
lot, and I'm not getting into it, but like going into a huge fight with a lot of drama
That's
like that,
true.
that could be
That's
problem
true.
worthy. I'm not, man, you shouldn't care. I wouldn't care if I was you. Hey, go through
I
more, right?
I stay drama free. I don't like the whatever's going on. Hopefully, she gets that cleared up, but it doesn't seem like anything is kind of going away. It seems like it's only magnifying, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
It's bananas. It's bananas.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of time that people have. You know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I have a question for you. Did you did you go watch her movie? I think your computer froze. Oh, boo! You know what? Oh, you know she's gonna be mad at you for not watching her movie too, right?
Hey, she trying to break Carissa's face. She ain't trying to go pay to watch them go
I
see a
was just
movie.
kidding. I was kidding. I didn't expect Miss Perkins to have gone and celebrated Christmas getting popcorn and watching the life of her opponent.
Yeah. No.
Hey, Corey, if you don't have any boxing questions, I want to take a second just because look, we like establishing relationships with our guests, and I like talking about things that just ain't boxing. And as we were doing research, I saw some really cool stuff about your family and your sister.
Oh.
First thing is my daughter's name is Jules. Your sister's name is Jules too. But second, she got a really, really cool ass YouTube page where she just picked up, took off to Iceland. And if nobody knows what Iceland is like, y'all need to check it out. But first of all, salute for the courage to do that. And second of all, like talk a little bit about that. That's a real cool setup and platform she's got with a shit tons of followers too.
Yeah. No. My sister's like a international celebrity.
Yeah.
It's interesting because my sister got her degree in biomedical engineering, And then she started doing other things. Like she started so when she was in college, she met this guy. He's Icelandic. They got married, and then after graduation, he had got his PhD and she had finished school, and they were trying to figure out, well, are they going to stay in New York or are they going to stay in Iceland? And she got picked up by this company in Iceland, and she moved out to Iceland. And then, of course, then one day she's like, I'm going to quit my job. I've really started like focusing on my YouTube stuff, and it's taken off. And she just got like this, I think, like a C-suite job. So when she was quitting, I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like people who...
Yeah.
So, yeah, it worked out. And like now she's like got this thing with like Iceland Air, and she's everywhere. I mean, it's not hard to find her. Like she's like, I think one of like 10 Black people in Iceland, but like all the marketing for my face is there. She's done a couple of TV shows. She was on like MSNBC recently. Yeah, like Jules is a big deal.
Yeah, she's a big deal, and it's really interesting. And it's funny you say that only 10 Black. I think she had the whole episode called like being Black in Iceland or something. So I would imagine it's not quite what it's like being in the States. But no, I just wanted to take a second to salute your sister. Maybe some boxing audience might be interested in Iceland or living abroad. Y'all check out her YouTube. It's really cool. It's something my wife has always had in the back of her mind. Just one day, selling everything and just going somewhere. So it was cool to see that, and I wanted to bring it up today. It's a cool story.
Oh no, she's gonna love that. I'll tell her about it because my sister never brings me up whenever she goes on one of these shows. It's nice that you guys brought her up.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so get some love. Go ahead, Craig.
Now I know we couldn't short on time, but I want to ask you this question right here because whenever a fighter or in any sport, when it's a big moment, they dedicating this fight to someone. Do you have anyone that you're dedicating this fight to going in?
No, I hadn't thought about it. Like when my father passed away, I put the tattoo on my back as my father, so he's always with me every single fight. So I don't ever really dedicate it. I just always like in his honor, give it like 100%. So when he was dying, he was like, "Take me with you," and that's the only thing I thought of that I could do that would be like always on me. So yeah, I guess just like it'll be me and my dad in the ring. So maybe it's not a fair fight.
That's what's up. I mean, we saw. Oh, and speaking of that, I did want to bring this up. You being from Brooklyn and all that. Obviously, we just saw Mike Tyson, and I was going to bring that up because what Buster Douglas, the extra help he had in the ring right after his mama passed. But we all grew up right in that era where Mike Tyson was, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, biggest names in the world. You being right there in the heart of it, coming up. Was boxing a big influence on you growing up? And then my second question is, what was your response to the Tyson Jake Paul event recently?
Oh yeah, that's a double-edged sword. So growing up, like I was a Jordan fan, which didn't go well in my house because
Yeah.
Knicks fan. I was like, the Knicks stink, like the Bulls are good. But my dad would like, we'd get the HBO fights, and I'd see like the Mike Tyson fights, and my dad would always be pissed because they were like so short. Like
Facts.
money, like $60 back in like the 90s was a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
So he'd be pissed. But I was like, he won, so I'm not sure what the problem was. But like Mike Tyson. There was a huge mural of him like in Bed-Stuy, and we'd see it. We were walking past my grandma's house. It really was like just a staple, even though like he wasn't necessarily from that block. But anyway, and then of course like I flew home to watch the fight in Brooklyn, the Jake Paul fight and Mike Tyson fight in Brooklyn. I flew home to watch it with my mom. So she picked me up from the air. Yeah, and she's got the Netflix on in the car. We're rolling. We're not missing a moment. We got home. Katie and Amanda were fighting, and that's big because Amanda's from Bushwick. We from Bushwick, so she's like the gym. Xboxing gym is only like 10-minute walk from the house. So like we drove by the gym, and they had the fight on. It was dope. Like I think everybody was watching like Amanda's fight. And that decision just like really kind of pissed everybody off. But
yeah,
and I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
He walked to the ring and looked almost like he was getting older as he was walking to the ring. I was like, is this the pixelation or like what's happening? It's like a dead man walking. And then like the fight just seemed like it had so much hesitation. Was he wearing orthotics on those boots? Were those like an elevated like I don't know.
It's a good ass question. I don't know. Maybe that's what was bothering his footwork and his legs, man. His legs looked dead. That shit was hard to watch.
And it was tough. It was just like I was like, how did this commission allow this? You know what I mean? Like this
I shit
man.
you not. I promise you, I'm not making this up. I was watching the fight there at the fight like this the whole time. Just because, I grew up idolizing this dude. And even the times we seen him lose, it was never like a one shot, he's done. I was just afraid that we were gonna see like a temple shot or something and it'd be done. But hey, everybody came out healthy. Tyson's $20 million richer. He's happy, so I got no complaint.
Yeah, I blame it on you, JJ, and I blame it on all the people who was living in it yesterday because they was the one who was gaslighting this fight, saying, "Oh, Tyson can
Not
come
me.
back and do this," just having them old memories and heartfelt and emotional about Mike Tyson, and it just was what it was. I knew what it was.
That's the thing. I bet my mom, right? So like we bet,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, mommy, look, I bet you 2 pennies Tyson get his ass beat tonight. And she was like, no, Mike Tyson. I was like, mommy, listen, Mike Tyson is like 60 years old. And this kid could be his grandson.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Ain't no way. Listen, and then we was at the gym and they were like, old man shrink. I said, yeah, but you take a half step over and smack him in the ear, it's over.
Exactly, man. That's a fact. No. And even though Corey said all that, I was excited to be in the presence or in a Mike Tyson fight. But no, I wasn't signing up. I wanted them to cancel the damn thing. I shit you not. I didn't think, if that fight wasn't fixed, I didn't think Tyson was gonna win it. But anyhow, we're gonna go. I know it's getting late. We want to just say thank you, Danielle, for jumping on. I know it's camp time. I know it's a holiday time, so we really appreciate you squeezing us in. Good luck to you. I know this is you prepping for the biggest moment in your life, so do your thing, handle yourself, and we'll be watching. We can't wait to see this fight.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Corey.
I concur with everything JJ said. But one more thing, it's a lot of speculation, about Canelo versus Crawford. If that fight was to happen, who you got?
That's tough.
It's tough.
Tough?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough.
Really?
It is. Yeah, because at what weight?
168?
Yeah.
I don't think no. I don't like that fight at 168.
Me either.
I'll take it at like 47.
Oh, it ain't. It's 168 fight. That's the 168 fight.
Crawford at 168. I don't think he's ever walked around at 168. That's big. That's real big.
Yeah, I think it's a lose-lose situation for Canelo because he beats the little guy, then big deal. He beats the little guy. If he goes in there and gets beat, then it takes a special fighter to pull something like that off. We just saw what Usyk did with a massively oversized, or he's way undersized. So you can't see it, but no, I'm with you.
But to give Crawford credit, he always have did what everybody didn't think he will be able to do. I have to give him credit on that. He have always been able to keep that chip on his shoulder. Do I think he beat Canelo personally? Absolutely not. I think it's weight classes for a reason, and Canelo is, just
Mhm.
one of them dudes, right? But I cannot say Crawford has always did what we doubted him to do, and that's what he got going for him going into this fight. Do I think he's gonna win? No, but hey, I'm glad. If it happened, it happened. But like JJ said, Danielle, man, we appreciate you coming on, right? And after February the 2nd, if you get the victory, because I can't speak, and I don't know. I want to see the fight and see what's gonna happen. Look, I know it's gonna be a difficult fight. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be this fight. It's gonna be difficult. I'm saying for this ain't now one of them other opponents that Claressa Shields done fought, and I'm not gaslighting you because you're doing the interview with us. I've been watching you fight. I done did my research on you. I know what type of fighter coming into this ring, right? So look forward to speaking with you after February the 2nd.
Facts. Hey, and one more time, thank you for opening up. I'm sure that's a tough time to talk about, but appreciate you opening up. And again, good luck to you. Thank you so much. Hope you had a happy new year, and we'll talk to you soon, Miss Danielle Perkins.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mr. IOTBA.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for this one. I'm chilling. Everybody think I'm gaslighting or I'm just talking. Man, she could fight. She could put her punches together. She's not no joke. The only thing people could question, like we stated earlier, is her age. She said she made her statement about that. I ain't want to keep kicking a dead horse about that because I know really age ain't nothing but a number if you keep yourself physically gifted. And what I seen out of this lady, it's going to be a challenge for Claressa. Can Claressa take her power? Can she?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's a
want
hell
to
of a
see.
question, bro. She's athletic. And listen, age. Boxing, we're still learning what's going to come from women's boxing as it develops, bro. And what we're seeing now, and this is the first time I've talked about this, or I've never read anything. That age seems to be a little bit higher for women, where I don't know if you want to call it their prime or whatever, but we're seeing a lot of you see Serrano's up in age, you see
Chicken?
look at Chicken. Look
Straight
at Chicken
chicken,
in
Metcalf,
Dallas, Shredder
bro?
Metcalf. So that age, it seems to be a little bit more graceful and forgiving on women. I don't know what it is yet. Obviously, it's early, but the numbers don't lie. So that 42 number on somebody who doesn't have the wear and tear, didn't grow up boxing, So hey, if she's athletic, she's got a good chance at any heavyweight. You know what I mean? So we'll see
I
how
see
it
that
goes.
confidence in her, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, I don't
100%.
know how this fight gonna play out. We can't, like I told her, Claressa is the favorite. That's how we got to look at it, because that's what we done seen, right? Like, so we can't just say that. But JJ, I love this fight right here. I know this is gonna be a tougher opponent for Claressa Shields. Now, I'm gonna tell you like this: I will be blown away if Claressa wipes this girl out. I will be blown away, JJ, if this is not a good fight. I'm telling you, this is not a walk in the park for Claressa, and Claressa know it. Claressa was taught, like Claressa, I never seen her as respectful as she was to opponent like she was with her. Like I've never seen that, JJ. And I'm not saying that I want to see confrontation, but that's what Claressa do. She wasn't doing none of that, JJ. And she was like, if Hannah Gabriel and them don't want to fight her, well then what's really wrong? What this woman really about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I asked her, do she feel like if Shields feel the pressure, JJ, like people go watch that interview on YouTube on Salida Promotions. Watch that interview with her and Claressa. Like, I'm not saying Claressa didn't look confident. They both look confident. It's just the different wordplay. Never seen that. But Claressa showing, that other side that she is human, and I think people should respect that, because this opponent right here, she giving all the respect to.
Mm-hmm. I agree, dog. And you brought up a hell of a point, man. The distractions. And like, look, let's go back in history. We brought up a situation with Douglas Tyson already, right? I like focusing on this fight, De La Hoya Pacquiao. where De La Hoya essentially handpicked Manny Pacquiao for that fight. That was supposed to be the year of the Floyd Mayweather rematch. It didn't happen. He handpicked Manny Pacquiao. You have De La Hoya who handpicked an opponent, and you have Pacquiao who trained for the fight of his life. And I know obviously the weight circumstances are different with Shields and Perkins, but what I'm saying is Perkins is getting ready for the fight of her life that can change her family's trajectory and everything, while Claressa Shields just had a movie released a week ago. So, dog, like that's a legitimate question.
In the marital dispute with Papoose and Easy the Block Captain and them.
The entanglement,
and I
dog.
really
The
know,
entanglement.
like if you watch battle rap like I do, you would have instantly knew who Easy the Block Captain was. Sensational, top tier battle rap. So he huge in that world. Like she got all of this going on, JJ. And I don't care what Claressa say. I ain't looking past you got all this going on. It's like, and then you putting this on yourself. Because instead of staying focused and staying away from it, Claressa Shields run into it. She run into it. Cameron say Amanda Serrano had the most watched fights. What Claressa do? Throw a whole fit. Now what's she gonna do when Danielle Perkins saying that Amanda Serrano the GOAT? This is what Claressa need to understand. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And I think Danielle Perkins broke it down great when she said Claressa built herself off the Gwoat. And she said Clarissa's a great fighter. You know, she built herself off that. Claressa is the Gwoat. But she said Amanda is the GOAT. Oh my God.
No, that was pretty dope. No, man, I like her confidence. I like her swag. Look, Rafael made a comment saying we didn't press her enough about the Shields fight. I don't know if you noticed, Corey. We tried, and she just didn't. You know, sometimes you got to take what you get.
I pressed her.
No, 100%. You did. I don't know if he didn't watch the whole interview, but no, you did. And I was trying to pivot. You know, if she ain't giving us a lot of responses, then you know you got to feed off of your guests.
Her, but sometimes people like and salute to Raphael 32. Salute to you. Sometimes you got to look in between the lines on how she's saying her answer and what her responses be. If you go back and look at it and just look in her eyes and seeing the questions that we were asking her, you would see in her responses and how she was looking. Everybody's different, Raphael. I know we always want to hear that rah-rah, but you got to hear that quiet confidence, and you got to look at them facial expressions, you know, like when they're trying to examine like somebody who they think did something. Is he lying? Look how his neck is moving. It's moving. It's moving like
yeah.
You know,
yeah, no shit,
truth.
Man.
Look how his eyes is looking sideways.
Hell yeah. No, and
I'm telling you.
No, go ahead.
I'm telling you. Claressa got a lot on her plate. And this stuff's still going on. She just made a post talking about the blogs taking and they run with it. So that means to tell me she looking at all the stuff.
Hell yeah.
That go on. She just made this post yesterday.
Yep.
Right? And hey, listen, I ain't saying she ain't working hard because she has shown nothing but excellence being a 15-time world champion. But she's never had this type of spotlight on her. What's she gonna do?
I'm excited, dog. I'm excited. With everything we've said tonight, though, I'm gonna close with this, but I want to hit these. PYP Boxing says Danielle Perkins was my first boxing interview 2023. That's dope. Tight. Mosquito sprayed. Good interview, fellas. You guys doing it, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in, guys. Like we said at the start of the interview, today's our 3-year anniversary. 3 years today, you will see episode 1, and you see me damn near have an aneurysm about Canelo Alvarez. Y'all gotta go check.
That was the AJ's. Tell them about what's going on tomorrow night, and we both gonna be live and in person.
Yeah, we got Corey coming in studio tomorrow. We have Coach Lenny Wilson, Richardson Hitchens coach, now world champion coach. Lenny Wilson gonna be on the show tomorrow, so y'all be sure to tune in. We didn't get a ton of super chats tonight, but again, I'm not gonna stop beating this up because this guy means a lot to us, and we're just gonna talk about it. But Joel Jusino, we lost a good one over the weekend. 100% of our super chats in the month of January will go directly to the family Joel Jusino, supporting our boxing community, supporting our homies over at Boxing and Barbecue. And RIP to the family. You want to shout out one more time. But yeah, y'all please like, subscribe, share. Y'all follow all our social media. We're on IG, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Y'all come talk shit. But Corey, another great episode, another great interview, my boy. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow here in studio, dog. Adios.
This is JJ Solomon.
This Corey Bradshaw, Mr. IOTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. This is the Spit Bucket Podcast.